So as you see, if it says negative, of course, that means you do not have it.
What are you positive for? What is that?
I don't know why I pointed myself as Gucci's third leg's dick watcher, because I'm the one reporting on this and it feels like I'm the only one actually talking about it online. But we are here after the live stream with Adin, Ross, and him, and I'm gonna break down all the most important things and points that were said. And apparently even academics showed up and actually started asking hard-hitting questions. I don't know why anyone would trust Adin Ross to do that, because he didn't. But the first thing Guccithirrdleg talks about, which I am not going to refer to him throughout the rest of this video, I'm just going to say him, and when I say him, assume it is Guccithirrdleg. He talks about why he was silent and what he was doing with that time.
First things first, I definitely want to speak out on everything. Actually, very apologetic to my fans and my supporters and to everyone for one, even being silent for 3 days was a lot for me. I was going through a lot of hate, depression, which, you know what I'm saying, we all go through on a daily basis. The reason I stayed silent for 3 days is because one, when I first found out about it, I literally went straight to get tested. Like, I cannot play about that. Like, this is something that literally, like, consecrate them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you make great content, you sell it, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is our job. Why would I not be taking care of myself? One. So when I first found out about this whole, you know what I'm saying, a whole situation blowing up, I strictly went straight to get tested. Even right now, I'm still waiting on my results. My results will be in by tomorrow.
So you're probably wondering, I mean, Novelty just showed us a clip in the beginning of him scrolling through test results. If he said himself he doesn't have his current results right now, what were those? Well, those were test results from towards the end of last year. Sort of around the time where she says he claimed that she got these burns from him, which he's trying to prove is impossible based on his test result that he has. And that one talking about he's gonna have his test result tomorrow, that is today at the time of me recording this video. So yes, y'all gonna have to gear up for a part 3.
She stated that I've been spreading HSV and HIV since 2021, which definitely was false. I have proof right here. I have my testing from 2023 of my HSV
collected, and it says non-reactive and negative.
So as you see, if it says negative, of course, that means you do not have it.
What are you positive for? What is that?
Can you read that?
It says you're positive for HSV1.
Yes.
So what is that? Can you explain what that means?
So positive for HSV1 means you not have. It means you have had probably like a cool sore, more so stuff like that. And this is very common in the whole world.
Right.
2 out of 3 people in the world have HSV1.
Let me just look it up so I can.
Most adult stars, they do not test for HSV1 in most tennis shoes. Guess why?
Right. Yeah, it says, I'll just read the statistic. It says globally an estimated 64% of the people under 50 have HSV1, which is the main cause of.
This is actually insane. I'm used to all different types of allegations of multiple different things, but dick allegations were not on my bingo card for 2024. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But what he's explaining with that is she only could not have got it from him, but during the time frame she said she got it from him, he already got tested and he didn't show a test for it. He showed negative. So she was already lying about all of that. Along with that, he also claims later in this video that she was even lying about when and how everything had went down. If you're unaware of what she said, basically she claims that she had came over, Guccithirrdleg did not tell her, and basically hid it from her that he had this virus, and then she just found out one day a little bit afterwards after doing content with him. He says that is not the case at all, and that he actually told her, but she was so desperate for more money that she went along with it anyway.
Me and Danae filmed on February 10th. When we filmed on February 10th, Danae did not show me a new test. She did not show me a previous test. She never even showed me a test. I was wrong as a content creator for even working with her. But just knowing how desperate she sounded, how eager she was, she said she needed money to make for her, you know what I'm saying, like for her rent. She said she needed to make money for her mom. I really just wanted to make a lot of content. So as y'all see, me and Danae shot 4 videos that day. The first video, nothing. As you see, I have nothing. I have no reactions. I have no marks. I have nothing. As we started to film, constantly filming, we filmed 4 scenes. On the last scene, of course, when she's, you know what I'm saying, like she's giving me, like it's very aggressive. Sometimes her teeth might start scratching me, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. We filmed 4 scenes, and you trying to tell me the first time, you know what I'm saying, we ever did anything, you saw a bump and didn't say nothing?
Basically saying what her story was, but it's just the reverse. Actually, she never showed him any proof or anything, and it's on him that he didn't speak up and say something. He's basically putting the blame all on her. I mean, I'm not one to watch one because that's kind of weird, but I already am at this point, so might as well keep going while I'm already digging my own grave. That's a little bit odd on both parties, if we're being honest. I mean, if your entire career relies on your body, I'm pretty sure that up is not going to be the best scenario for you, if we're being honest. So it really is on both of them at the end of the day. Him if she never showed him anything and he still went on with it, and her if he never showed anything and she still went on with it. They're both really at fault. Regardless, him saying that, hey, actually she didn't even care, she just was that desperate that she didn't care at all, and she already knew, well then it's just on her. And if it wasn't him, you're probably sitting there thinking as well, where did she get it from then? As he's about to say in this clip I'm going to show you, she still is a person at the end of the day. It's not like the only time she does anything like this is when she's filming content. She still has a life outside of this, and he explains that, like, okay, she's just backtracking it to me, but who knows, she was on countless shows, she was with countless people, she was passed around like the community ethicas, so just pinning it on him seems really up.
What do you believe is what happened to her? What do you think? You think it was somebody else who gave it to her? Can you explain what do you think that happened to her?
I'm gonna be very 100% honest, and as a man, we all know, even as content creators, yes, we, you know what I'm saying, we might have, you know what I'm saying, like had some relations done with work, but it's like after work, what happens? We meet other regular people, we, you know what I'm saying, have other regular, which is uncommon for, which is undocumented. This girl has been on many countless of shows, been with many countless of men. I can't even name, but it's like, I'm sorry, but it's like you're backtracking into one dude that you didn't even show no test results.
Right, right.
And I showed you too my proof, and also too, I'm waiting tomorrow. As soon as my results come, the whole world will see, everybody will see.
He basically just said she a hoe. She shot out and she was out there slanging it like crazy. Personally, who could really know? I mean, the countless bodies she's had, we will get an answer later. I will show the clip of her basically saying the amount of bodies she does actually have after Gucci's third leg, and it wasn't as many as you might think. It still was more than most people would probably expect though. But after this had happened, we had academics join, and he started asking the more hard-hitting questions because Adin was just kind of just letting him talk, asking the things from chat, but academics really went more in depth with him.
Wait, chat, that examine
you to have somebody with the open cut on your.
Thing about it is, knowing the situation she was in, I literally told her. She literally said she needed 4 videos. Like she literally said, "I like my."
Wait, what do you think you told her? So you told her, "Yo, my."
I literally look. I literally said, "I have a cut on my wound. I mean, I have a cut on my."
Oh my God.
Now, hold on. I'm gonna be honest though. I'm just trying to get some details right. You know what I mean? Because, you know, shout out to my boy Adin, but, you know, Adin trying to get a platform to talk. We just gotta get to the truth. You gotta tell me if she's lying, because Adin finna get on. Yo, Adin, I might have the plug. We might get her on here tonight.
Okay.
Hold on. She said you told her that you cut yourself shaving, but hair don't grow on your. That shit was crazy.
Hair, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, it grows on my. I'll show y'all right now.
I don't know what's up with the end of that with Ak. Maybe in his old age, his stuff just not working the way it's supposed to. I can't say nothing. I'm not gonna get too into detail with that because, again, I'm not trying to watch. That's a little odd. But he just basically iterates the same thing, basically being like, hey, he told her, he let her know, he showed her, she was fully aware in his eyes, and she's lying that if she says she isn't. He let her know. Then Ak proceeds to ask the big hitting question, why would she do this if she's lying? Because her career is done, bro. No one's ever gonna want to collab with her again, and if she continues to want to do what she's doing, it's gonna be solo only content, purely because she has a disease, and no one is dumb enough to be like, yeah, you know what, this cool little quick $2,000 I'm gonna make is worth risking my entire life. And ask him that, like, if that's the case and she is lying, why would she do this? And maybe she's not lying, and there's other people out there who do feel the same way, but they just don't want to end their career like she basically is doing to herself.
This woman who came out to accuse you, she probably, you know, and I'm not saying you have it, but let's say her story is right. There's probably dozens of girls who wouldn't, because you know the girl who came out, like, first of all, you're saying you don't have it, so she looks stupid.
Someone said Ak got a
other women come out and speak up and say anything if they know that their career is going to be done. Nobody's going to be down to say, I caught it and it's from him. This girl who's trying to be a whistleblower, bro, who the f is about to go to her OnlyFans and whack off to her having all type of shit? You get what I'm saying? So she's not helping herself. So I think she's speaking up, basically saying, you probably got other women who got infected. They're just not speaking up.
This could be definitely a possibility. I mean, a lot of people obviously wouldn't want to ruin their career, as I have already said. If this is where you're making your only livelihood, why would you ever want to jeopardize that in any way, shape, or form? This one person who's going out saying this is literally destroying her own career and probably how much money she's going to make for the rest of her entire life because of this. So it wouldn't really make sense for them to come out if there is more people. But moving after this, he does say that he brought on girls to explain everything that was going on. Adin proceeded to say, hey, I mean, there are first positives, like he was going through talking about how a lot of people who were being educated about this actually don't understand how this could work and what the best way to test it would be. Currently, he might actually could have it, but if he doesn't have a flare up or anything, then they would not be able to detect it. So there could be a lot of reasons for why he might have it, but it doesn't show, or could have it and wouldn't be giving out symptoms for it. There are a lot of nuances that go on with stuff like this.
I have multiple women that I recently just filmed with that got tested and their results showed negative.
Hold on, but all right. I mean, we don't have to get into some of the health when it comes to that, but we all know testing for HSV2 is very temperamental, right? Like, first of all, even if they do a blood test, which is supposed to be the accurate test, and by the way, I read all this through watching them little workers like do their little spaces today and watch health providers talk to them, is you get false positives. I think it's because it's herpes and there's a taboo with it, and also people don't really understand how it's tested for and how first of all somebody could have it and be asymptomatic, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
And then the bigger thing after this that happened was them asking, yo, if this does turn out to be false and she's just lying on your name, what are the precautions next? What are we gonna do? I mean, people obviously don't understand, so if you prove to them, hey, this is completely false, this is why, this is the reason, she couldn't have got it from me, she's lying on my name, what are you gonna do next? You gonna sue her? I mean, she's obviously tripping if that's the case. Lying at this degree and then destroying your own career just to destroy another person's career, astronomically insane.
You know, if you basically are proven innocent, then why would you call it quits? Why would you not continue to work? Because then your name is as hot as it possibly could be, so you can make the most money you've ever made. So why would you call it quits?
I mean, for one, I've already been enough to retire, but then again, it's like, it's not really about that. I'm also just trying to really protect my peace, family's peace, and people around me peace. I feel like ever since, you know what I'm saying, I got into the whole world and content, it's been a lot, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot to do with, and it's like, there's a lot more I want to do in my life. Like, content was not the first thing I wanted to even do in my life. Like, it's just something I just kind of like fell into my hands, you know what I'm saying, when I met Tiana Trump. But at the end of the day, it's like, what could I say? I'm ready for the next chapter, honestly.
And that was the end, basically, of Guccithirrdleg segment, as they did bring on some girls and they did verify that, hey, he didn't give us anything, and they did show proof with test results and everything. But again, they could have been false positive. There could have been so many nuances with the situation. Afterwards, though, they did bring on the girl that originally accused him, and here are some of the highlights from what she had to say.
I know this is kind of a personal question, but I'm curious, and the reason why I'm curious, it's a two-pointer. How many bodies did you have before you caught, and then how many do you have after? And I just want to see where you're at with your life.
Since everybody thinks I'm already nasty, I don't give a f about telling my body count. So Gucci was 44. I am now at 58. So during the time, and listen. After Gucci, right? Before I found out that I had herpes, I wilded the f out.
I only put that up to show y'all that she kept going, but once she found out, she did stop. She just was not aware at the time, or at least that's what she says. Afterwards, she did wild out, in her words, not mine. Kind of crazy. Hopefully those men do get tested. It would be very unfortunate if they go around spreading this as well. But this is actually, the next part is her testimony on what happened. You already heard from Gucci everything he says happened, but this will be the last part, her explaining her side of the story, basically saying what went down throughout those nights that they were doing that content.
So you said you contracted it from your knowledge in February. How could you prove, or how would you be able to prove when you contracted it? Because from my understanding of that virus is that someone may have it for a unlimited amount of time, but might only know once they have an outbreak. So how did you know that you contracted it at that time, as opposed to maybe you had it all along and the symptoms presented itself at that time that you then went to the urgent care and got tested?
Okay, so with collaborating with Gucci, Gucci was the first person I've ever seen an active lesion on, or a lesion ever in my life, with a partner that I've engaged with. A friend of mine, whenever I was in high school, contracted HSV, and I saw her lesions, but it looked nothing like his. It was brand new. It was not a healed sore or nothing. He was the first person I've ever had with that I saw something like that with. Not only that, a few days, my first time that I ever experienced any kind of irritant was 5 days after I first had with Gucci. On February 15th, I thought that I split open my because whenever we were having, I couldn't finish because it hurt so bad. I literally thought that I split it open. It started bleeding and everything. I was so dry whenever everything happened. It literally was so confusing to me. And by then, I had already asked him what it was on his. No, I did not ask him the first time we had what it was on him. But it was his job as a person who knows, and I don't care what you say, Gucci. Like, respectfully, you know that you lie. You have ran yourself in circles on the stream all night.
From her point of view, I can understand how she came to the conclusion that, hey, I mean, I've never had anything like this, and then I recently did content with him, and all of a sudden something strange is happening to my body. No Danny Phantom. And anybody else in her position, honestly, I feel like would probably come to the same conclusion as well, so it's not crazy to see how she got there, but at the end of the day, I still think both of them are honestly at fault. They're two idiots doing dumb things in an industry where you're using your body constantly, so basically not being protective of it in any way is just a stupid decision, regardless of who they are as a person. But then you might think, well, her story does not align at all with what Gucci is saying, so what is really happening here? What does she have to say about the whole situation? And that's basically what Axe said. He was like, well, I mean, Gucci is saying this and that, but do you have anything to refute everything? It basically just restates what he says. I'm just gonna skip to her part where she's explaining her side of the story.
My response is that he did not say anything about his lesion or his sore whenever we first engaged in contact
at all.
It wasn't at all. It wasn't until February 14th.
Did you notice it? Did you notice it?
Huh?
Did you notice?
I did. Yes, I did see it. My thought process whenever I was coming into it was this was my first professional collab. The collaborations that I had prior were all romantic partners that I was comfortable enough to have with on camera. He was the first person that I ever had with that I did not know prior. And not only that, he was somebody that I was watching online and that I was fantasizing over for the longest. So whenever I got there, I assumed that it was a safe space.
What did you think it was? You know, because you know you did see it. So what did you think that it was?
I honestly, whenever I was going into it, I really didn't think much of it. It wasn't. So what's crazy is the reason what made me ask is because I don't know if I can show the videos anymore, right? But it changed. What it was the first day that I met him turned into 3 different things. You know, I didn't know what it was, what that was on his. At first, it was just one little circle. And you can see in the pictures that I posted in that black outfit, you could see that the lesion looked like one little scab. If you scroll over with me in the pink dress, that was the day, February 14th, the day that I asked. You can see that the lesion turned into 3 separate placements.
Honestly, I can understand it a little bit from her perspective. Not really as big now because it's like, this is kind of stupid. Her reasoning being that, I mean, it was a professional collab, so what's more professional than not showing a document that could show any diseases the person might have? Just forgetting about that honestly makes sense, real professional. And then her noticing it off rip, kind of a little bit odd. But then again, academics later does ask, hey, a follow-up question like, oh, was this on separate nights? Because the way that Gucci did explain it, it seemed like it all happened on one night, like, oh yeah, back to back to back, then it was just done with. But she does actually continue to say that no, this was on multiple nights, and not only that, a little bit afterwards, because he ended up flying her out to do even more stuff, which is some information that he definitely left out. He made it very bare bones, as if it was just like, yeah, we met, I told her, and then it happened, and then we just kept going. This is more information that he didn't even explain or talk about in any way.
Just asking for clarification. So when I was listening to him, and maybe I don't know if Adin got a different you know, conception of what he was saying. So this, you said y'all filmed several times. I thought it was the same day. You're saying this was over several days.
Yes,
how many days?
I filmed with Gucci. The first day we filmed 3 sets. So it was the one that went mega viral with the tan and blue outfit. And then we filmed the black set with the black and the fishnets. And then we filmed another set in the same B&B with red. We filmed 3 sets that day. That day he invited me to fly out to Houston and spend the week with him. And I agreed. Okay. I packed up my bags. I packed up my Airbnb and I literally flew out there. And there we filmed 2 sets. 3 actually. One was one in the red set. Another one was while I had a pink dress on, and the other one was while we were.
It was in Houston that you said, hey, your look like this the first night, but now you're noticing some difference. That's what you're saying, right?
That's not exactly what I said, no.
Okay,
that's not how it went. I literally, whenever I was laying there, I noticed, because over time, I noticed that he was like messing with himself, right? I noticed that he would like put his hand down there. Now I know he was itching it.
So he was itching it. You saw him itch it. You saw him start to itch it.
I saw him put his hand down there and fix himself. And now I know that that's a discreet way to scratch your herpes sore. So I asked him, I was like, hey, what is that on your I didn't say, oh, it changed over time. No, I just said, what is that on your? He said, oh, I cut myself while shaving.
And unfortunately, that's the end of this saga, or this video at least, until later today when they make another stream and I make another video tomorrow. So stay tuned in for that. But at the end of this, obviously, I feel like they're still both in the wrong. And if she's telling the truth, then I feel like she's a complete dumb for not being like, hey, maybe we should wait. Maybe can I ask now what that is? Like, there are a lot of things here that were done that just are not regulated because these are just people doing their own thing. So in this industry, hopefully people are going to be more self-conscious of what they are doing, because I mean, this is your body. You don't get a second chance. There is no comeback, no, none of that, bruh. That's raps. She her life up for the rest of her life. There's nothing she can do about it. And if he's telling the truth, then I still think he's a dumb, because if she didn't show you any documentation that shows that she doesn't have anything, you're a complete idiot, and you just continued with it. You're dumb. Yes, I feel like you're a dumb. It doesn't really matter who's right, who's wrong. We just have two idiots doing dumb things that got exposed for it at the end of the day. But those are just my thoughts and opinions. And if you want to tell me your thoughts, the best place to do that would be the comment section down below. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoy content like this and would like to see more, then maybe consider subscribing. I upload literally every week. You'll love it here, I promise. But that's enough for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.